So I went through your website and the process seems quite seamless and simple for an investor perspective, meaning if I come to your website, go through the whole process. So for our viewers to understand, if an investor come to your website, how do they invest in the asset from the beginning till the middle ground when they can expect the return of investment? Lastly, how they can cash out. Because what I've understood from other real estate fractional investment companies, they keep a certain limitation, right? There's a duration of a period when you can park your money. So you can't cash out maybe 1 year before or 2 years before. So when it comes to Claravest as an investor, what all process I'll be going through in terms of investment with your asset?
Yeah, definitely. So, when people actually come on our platform, you can visit our properties page. For our properties page, you'll see these cubes which are related to every property that is live on our platform, which will kind of tell you what is the ticket size per investor, where the location is. Once you log in and access the website, you will now see like the more in-depth information. One issue with also real estate investment is there is a lot of unstructured data. So you know that मुझे इधर invest करना है. पर उसके लिए what all information you have to see. You have to go to 10 different websites, maybe look at the developer track record, maybe look at why the location and stuff like that. We are trying to kind of make that into a structured information and put it all on that one page of that one property. So when you come on the, let's say you select property A. We also are a big fan of naming our properties. So we love to name our properties. Our first property was named Surya, second property was named Zen. We have Highlands, we have Tierra. So big fans of that. So you will look at like a property, let's say Highlands. You will understand what is the location aspect of it. What are the key important factors of that location? Developer track record. Why invest with the developer? Configuration of that asset. If there are, we are very clear and transparent about all the, how do we come with that X investment amount. So property price kya hai, maintenance kya hai, stamp duty kya hai, all that you will see. Once you are okay with like, okay, this sounds good, I want to learn more, you just click learn more. We reach out to you and then actually the conversation starts. One thing, as you already mentioned, that, education is the main aspect for it. Yeah. So no one is honestly, at least till date, is like come on the website and be like, okay, let's do it. Let's invest like 1 lakh or 5 lakh. So we then have conversation with the people. We explain them all the stuff that I spoke earlier. Once people decide that yes, they want to invest, we have an we perform their KYC and then expression of interest agreement is signed with them. We actually do not take, any money from investor until the property is fully funded on paper.
Okay.
Once the property is fully funded on paper, let's say that means I found the 20 or 25 investor. That's when we reach out to the investor saying that, guys, we are now completely funded. Now is the time you transfer the money. Once the money is transferred, we actually own the asset.
Right.
There is a lock-in period. For now, we have kept the lock-in period for about 2 years. But after that, the investor is fine to sell their share. And based on like how the asset is, how the payment terms are going to be described initially only, the payments will start as and when the property is bought.
So there's no chance of an early exit?
After 2 years, definitely people can do an individual exit. But however, we are saying that, real estate is a long-term investment.
True.
So the investment period could be anywhere around 5 to 7 years. Okay. So this is something we tell our investors before they are, investing. All this is very clearly mentioned on that one page of that, property. It's also clearly mentioned in our FAQs. We also, say this to our investors one-on-one whenever we have meetings with them.
So help me understand, if there's a dashboard, I'm the user who's going to go through the property and I see what kind of data is there in terms of pricing, the developer history, like how we see with any other app like Zerodha and all. If I have to see certain stock details, I read about them, all the analysis, all the details of the past 4 years finance are shown. So when it comes to this particular asset, when I'm going through the data and history, I've also understood in the given time, and there are certain news, I don't want to take the name of the brand, when they develop a certain property and an infrastructure development has not happened around that property, that impacts your pricing, right? That impacts your the property appreciation also.
Definitely.
So how do you come in the picture? Because as I want to see, okay, Hiranandani ka ye asset aapne liya hai, but uske aaspaas ka development ka kaise you make sure that it's there, it's happening, the roads are being made, someone coming to that property, the roads which had to be taken by the maybe government has been built properly and everything, because that will affect your asset too. So how do you have, like, what kind of checklist do you have?
Yeah, so we do have a very thorough like due diligence checklist. A checklist is, I would kind of divide it into like multiple parts. One would just be like the checklist regarding the property and the legal due diligence, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say for an example, if I'm onboarding like a villa or something on the platform, or any, let's say like an apartment, any kind of asset, I will make we make sure that based on the locality, we do hire a local lawyer itself. Because there are quite a lot of intricacies with geographical location also. You know, a patta transfer might be called a satbara, and a satbara might be called a patta transfer. And we want to make sure that these local lawyers are catching these intricacies and explaining it to them. Also, language is also a main thing. So we have that legal due diligence performed for every property. Then comes the actual intangible due diligence with respect to how is the experience of the people who are already living in the property. You know, just like leakage wise, kya hai, like, you know, we also go and inspect the property. Are there any issues with the property or not? One thing that we have realized quite recently that we need to add to our checklist is actually Vastu compliance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the thing that you correctly mentioned, we can't just onboard the property thinking कि अभी उसका क्या चालू है, अभी उसके neighborhood में क्या है. We have to think about ये कितना easily resale हो सकता है.
True.
And when during that time we have to understand what all things that third party is going to consider. So, you know, this was a very, very new actually just like learning for us also, that you have to make sure that, you know, अगर आप entry किधर है, kitchen किधर है, toilet किधर है. So that is something that we have added to our checklist. And as you mentioned, if there is any future development that the developer is committing to us, we kind of ask for some legal records, right? You know, कि ये हो जाएगा 10 साल के बाद, ये 11 साल के बाद हो जाएगा. These are some of the properties we are not onboarding right now. However good deal we are receiving, we will try and onboard something that we can see in the near future, 3 to 4 years. For example, like we had properties in Panvel also, and I could see the work going on of the new airport. You know, just like few weeks ago, the first test airplane actually landed on the Navi Mumbai International Airport. So, you know, we are making sure we're not onboarding properties also where the future development is so far that our investor ka investment period might end and they might not get the benefit out of it.
True. So when it comes to, of course, you have mentioned you do this due diligence, but apart from that, as an investor in my dashboard, can I see these real-time videos or photographs of this property as well?
Yes. So one good thing is, you know, if the property is already ready, the developers kind of have the, you know, what do you say, the videos and everything. And it's very easy to find it on YouTube also. The trickier question is when the property is under construction. I'll be completely honest, you know, we do not have that techie of a website right now. That's something that we definitely want to upgrade, and that is coming in the future. We want to upgrade our website where people have their dashboard. If they have done multiple investment, they can, you know, take a look at how each investment is doing. But to answer your question, we are actually doing this in a little bit manual manner. So we do send our investors, our existing, we have already funded 2 properties. So for those investors also, after every 6 months, we are sending them, we are creating a presentation and sending them, okay, तभी ये काम नहीं हुआ था, अभी ये काम हुआ है. You know, sending pictures of the building, sending pictures of the apartment, all this stuff we are doing. Even though we are not able to do it technologically or maybe real time right now because the platform needs a more upgrade, we are still trying, we are still keeping that spirit of transparency as the core in our business, and doing this manually via email or video call, or however the investor is comfortable with.
Okay. So there has been also a growing, ethical investing awareness being made by the government when it comes to fractional ownership. A lot of new policies, compliances are now in place. So when it comes to residential also, does those same policies apply there? Also, do you require license to sell these assets to those investors?
Yeah, so SEBI just came out with the small and medium-sized REIT regulation. Actually, the regulation just actually came out a few months ago. And basically that kind of considers all the real estate asset classes. They are not differentiating between commercial or residential asset class. The caveat in that is that, a company can apply for small and medium sized REIT, or like once they have an asset of around 50 crores. So rupees 50 crores, rupees 500 crore ka value can be a small and medium sized REIT. Our goal would definitely be a SEBI registered company, because that's when the trust also comes in, right? People start trusting it. We just feel that it'll just create more access.
Yeah.
But currently we just don't have that kind of AUM. So that's just something that we have in mind. That is our goal. But once we have that horizon of the AUM, then we'll start the process.
So you must have access to a lot of data when it comes to these assets which you have listed in your website, right?
Yeah.
So according to you, who are the buyers majorly? Are they from NRIs, or are they actually from India who are ready to, be participant in the fractional ownership when it comes to residential market?
Yeah, so I think you were right. Like two target audience. One is a little bit younger target audience, techie, who want to diversify their portfolio and want to invest some amount in real estate. Want to try it out how the asset is. The second one is a big chunk is NRI. People who want to invest back home, want to invest in India's growth story. A lot of people is like, I've heard of Oragadam in the news and I want to invest in. Oh yeah, Foxconn is coming there, right? Yeah, I want to invest there. People from Mumbai is like, or Pune is like, I know about Panvel. I want to invest there because it's a small amount and it does not require me to actually come to India or visit India to invest. So that has been our target audience for now.
But post-pandemic, people have said the commercial ka demand zyada badh gaya hai, right? So did it affect your vacation home asset in any way?
I think, I feel that during pandemic, obviously the vacation home also kind of boomed and grew a lot, because I think people understood the importance of getting a huge villa and coming there as a family and spending time over there. After COVID, you would know that there's all what are they calling it? I think revenge travel or something like that, right?
Yeah.
People are calling that, where people just want to be out there and go on to vacation homes. Obviously, you would have realized that the rates of the hotels have gone also too much.
Yeah.
So kind of vacation homes and getting these saffron stays villa kind of makes sense, because now you have a 4 BHK, 5 BHK, you can put your entire family together and you are paying obviously a little bit lesser amount than booking 8 rooms. And then you get the service.
Yeah.
Right? It kind of gives you a whole family feeling. A service is there. The food is authentic. If you're going to Goa, you want to eat some nice fish fry, rawa masala fry and stuff. So all this actually kind of helps in the vacation home sector also. And the investor is also understanding it. That these are all the reasons that the rental is going to be higher. These are all the reasons that property price is going to appreciate.
True.
And it kind of resonates with them too.